Hello everyone and welcome to the USL eUSL team draft. We are here starting the season here just with picking our players and doing a short list of teams. I am Ryan. I am in control of Wilmington Town. So just kind of looking through a few of the players that I believe are certainly notable and worthwhile, like Solomon Asante and Michael Orozco. Thomas and Voltson are certainly guys I want to have on my short list. We'll scroll through a bit more. Cordell Cato, Daniel Rios is all very good players. Look at Chris Wehan. I'll do Richie Ryan as well, and Lance Lang. I think Cameron Lancaster is certainly going to be a decent pick. I think this is going to be a very interesting league for us to try and go through, and what's really going to set teams apart, in my personal opinion, are going to be their backline and their defense. And that has made a very big difference for me and for a lot of my saves, and I believe that is going to be what kind of sets players apart from one another. But let's keep looking through and try and find a few more relatively known players that are worth taking note of, putting down as the short list of players. I'm probably going to end up trying to run with a 4-2-3-1 formation, but so far I can't truly complain with how things have been going. It's certainly gone by quick. Forrest Lasso would be a huge central defender. Same to William Bichev, Kevin Frater, Brandon Allen. That is a classic USL player right there. He wouldn't be bad. Yeah, Sensi Moar. Corey Herzog. Here we are. A few goalkeepers would probably be a bit solid in this instance. I really don't know what to make with what to do as far as keepers on if I want to keep them as necessarily someone that's like a kicker, or if they're going to try and be a bit more notable as someone to make a bigger difference. But I feel like we should be able to be alright with a few of the players that we're kind of going after. Select all. Yeah, 35 is a bit old for... Huh. Interesting. Wait, cancel. Yep, I think we have a decent short list, and I'm gonna go... I think I'm going to try and lead off with targeting around Thomas and Voltson and at Solomon Asante as like those big players that I truly want to get for this team. I feel like that's going to be the route we have to take, but I'm going to ready up. I think this is a decent short list that I grabbed enough players to go through and find. And I think everything will be set. Let's dive right into the draft. I've been given the first pick of the draft. Wow. Alright, let's go. Let's make it Thomas and Voltson as our player. Let's do... or Solomon... No, let's do Solomon Asante. Let's do Asante. I'm taking Solomon Asante first off the board. 29-year-old winger, the Phoenix Rising product. He takes a Jose, Queens Park Strangers, the AI coach takes Clever. Solomon Asante. It'll be interesting to see who ends up going after next. Let's look back at the short list. I think Daniel Rios might actually be a solid pick here, but I'd really love to get an Evoltson as well. But I'd be spending a bit on a few of these players. So Boris Lasso on backline would not be a terrible pick. I got 128 million left to go. Each of these players, as you can tell, are just kind of hanging around that 500k mark. Yago Kobayashi, he's selected by the Dead Whales FC. Cloudsdale takes in a Voltson pony with the Voltson picks. So let's quickly remove him from the short list. I don't know how to, trying to find how I can remove him from the short list. Not me, but he's taken with that next pick. Yep, we're doing snake draft style, so it's certainly going to make it difficult when I have to pick teams back to back. Jimmy Medranda with Queens Park Strangers. Solomon Asante is our one guy. Let's just do overview. Yep. Up on the clock, Addo Quinn is off the board. Let's go with... Daniel Rios has already been chosen. Gosh. Let's do Corey Herzog. Yep. And then with our other back pick, right here, I am going to go with Brandon Allen. No, wait, no. Cameron Lancaster. There. I think that's pretty set right there. I'm pleased to kind of start building out our forwards. Our next two picks have to be in defense and back line. Richie Ryan, as a veteran midfielder, has been taken off the board. Queens Park Rangers takes Curtis Anderson, an 18-year-old goalkeeper. Yikes. So far, I've been relatively pleased with how all of this has been going. It seems like the draft has been moving along at a pretty decent pace. I think it's been pretty good for everyone. But when we come back down to my pick, I am going to definitely look at getting a defender. Forrest Lasso is probably going to be that first pick. And, I'll go with Forrest Lasso as that pick, and then I may look into, let's see, let's look at our backs. Find a player. No, Noah Powder, Jared Van Sheek would not be a bad pick. O'Brien Woodbine would be decent. Sean Francis, I'm going to add him to the short list. And let's do Romney as well. Oh, that's on defensive left. let's go to defensive right. Taking a look at the players on the defensive right, Darnell King would probably be a decent pickup that we have here. Trying to find a few players that would kind of stick out to me on this side of the field. Let's see Carl Wimet. Joel Johnson as well. Not bad. Let's get another. What do Jack Mayer? Certainly need a midfielder. Corbin Bone would actually be a decent guy for a former Wilmington Hammerhead coming back to Wilmington with this pick. If he falls to us, that is. Wallfall, a legendary Rochester Rhinos player, would be another really solid pickup as well. I'll add in Kevin Lambert here. Jack Barnby would be a decent side. I feel relatively pleased with how everything's kind of been going so far. Paco Craig is taken with the 22nd pick. Let's do 4, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a defensive midfielder and see. Up on the board. Here we are. Let's get, as promised, let's get Forrest Lasso. And with our next pick, let me pick up who is left. Yeah, I gotta get a defender here. So Carl Wimet. Yep, Carl Wimet. There we go. Current squad. That is actually a decent team so far. I'm pleased with how we've been going. I think next I should probably get a keeper. Corbin Bone is picked up there. He wasn't able to fall to me in that pick. Center back, wingers, center back. It's interesting, the players that everyone's currently going after, that's a very early goalkeeper pick from the AI, which is, for some reason, on the Cincinnati Bearcats logo. But Kevin Lambert would actually be a decent next pick if he's still able to stay on the board. Joel Johnson would be a very good player to kind of have at left back. But looking at the current squad, overview, attributes, no. Ideally, I'd have Asante as one winger, Corey Herzog as the other, Cameron Lancaster as that forward. I'd need a midfielder to kind of fill out this position if I'm trying to do a 4-2-3-1 here. So I'd get Asante on the right, Corey Herzog on the left, Lancaster in the middle, central defender. You'd be a fullback as well, so it'd be Lasso and Carl Wimet. I'd get a defensive right back and a defensive left back with these next two picks, or I'd build up the midfield. Let's boost into the midfield. I want to see who we got available here. that guy at Bend was taking it. Brian Anuga would not be a terrible pick to go right here. Ironball Solvik. Jack Blake. A lot of Louisville players are getting quickly taken off the board, it seems. Huh. Okay. Yep, there's a keeper. So I probably should look into getting a keeper now. James Chambers. Harry Forrester. Huh. Adam Grenwis probably would not be a terrible pick to get a keeper. Here we are on the board. So, let's get Sean Francis. Yes. And let's start boosting the midfield. Wallfall. I know I said I should have gotten a keeper there, but I feel like those players we can really put nearly about anyone in goal, that a lot of these players are relatively bunched together in value. I'm hopeful that one of Zendejas, Grenwis, or Willis will be left on the board, but just for safety, let's see what other keepers will be out there. Jack Barnaby taken off the board by the AI. Nope, don't want to select all. Here we are. Let's go with value. Diego Restrepo would actually be a solid pickup right there. Or if he is still available for me, and I do hope he is. Kuzminski as well would probably be decent. Cody Mizell, Akira Fitzgerald. Let's all kind of go after Diego Restrepo, and we'll get Adrian Zendejas kind of as those picks that I'm kind of looking towards. Andre Lewis has been taken. Trying to find a way how I can get people off the short list. So Jack Blake off the board. Let's see what's going to be next. Demi Villarreal. I'm probably going to end up picking a keeper and then a midfielder. So, I want to get Diego Restrepo, and then Kevin Lambert, if that's how things kind of line up. If they can't line up in that exact route, he's picked. Enzo Martinez actually wouldn't be a bad attacking midfielder. Santi Millar, Jorge Herrera. Let's look at the current squad. Who do I have where? I always feel like I need to kind of just draw out a depth chart right next to me on a piece of paper to try and just see which players would kind of line up to which spot. Two, three, one. Yeah, I'd probably need another defensive midfielder, definitely a goalkeeper soon. And then a couple midfielders here. natural. Here we are on the board. Let's go. Let's take a look. Diego Restrepo. Just need a keeper. And Kevin Lambert. Got who we needed, got who we wanted. So now we have an interesting way forward now with 9 different players. I want to look at getting more defensive left and right backs. I feel like having some Jean France. Looking at the current squad, it would be Ouimet and Lasso in the defensive backs. We'd have Sean Francis at that left wing back. I'd need someone in that right back position. And technically, Ouimet can play that, but I need someone who's like a true wing right back. So let's find someone who is a right back for that position. Solomon Asante on the right side. Corey Herzog lines up on the left. We get Cameron Lancaster as a mid striker, or as kind of like an attacking midfielder. We'll probably have to find someone in that spot. Kevin Lambert and Wallfall kind of lines up as that left back, or there's kind of like defensive midfielders right here. So let's go after an attacking midfielder and a right back as our next kind of spots. Actually, yeah, we're gonna need a right back more than anything. So, gosh, David Nashim would probably be an okay pickup there. All right, Kevin Alston, the most valuable one, has already been picked up. Let's see, who else is on the board? We have Darnell King tagged to the short list and same to Joel Johnson. So, let's get Najim to the short list. Same to Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor may actually be the best pick that I could possibly end up taking if he stays on the board, that is. Doyle has been taken off by Cloudsdale FC. Santi Moar. Okay, yeah. He'd be a good backup. Surprised Brandon Allen still on the board. Attacking midfielder, Leo Fernandez. Attacking midfielder. Enzo Martinez. Yeah, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up Enzo Martinez if he's still on the board with our next pick. And along with Enzo Martinez, we'll get Jermaine Taylor. Yeah, that's going to be our route. Doesn't matter which side that we take him since we have that back-to-back pick, but Jermaine Taylor and Enzo Martinez. Jack Mayer would probably be a good pick to take on the way back. Andrew Fox off the board. Let's see. I'm guaranteed to get one of these players, I believe. Jermaine Taylor is still there. Or as is Enzo Martinez. So I'm guaranteed to get one of these guys. Let's do Enzo first, and then we'll do Jermaine Taylor. Dave Romney. Yep, we got our play here. Enzo Martinez. Then we go up, Jermaine Taylor. There we are. Feeling a lot better now with our team. I'm going to look into getting a bit more boost to our kind of forwards and attacking situation, because if we look at our current squad, yeah, we got a good goalkeeper. We have our defenders pretty much set. We have one defensive midfielder. So it'd be Restrepo in goal. You put him on the right, Ouimet and Lasso in the center. Or you put Sean Francis on the left. You have Lambert and Fall as your defensive midfielders. Then you have midfield of Asante on the right, Enzo in the center, Herzog on the left, and Cameron Lancaster as your striker. Interesting. Now, I feel like that's actually a really decent setup that we have right there. Let's try and get a backup striker for Cameron Lancaster, which I'm kind of thinking would be Brandon Allen, and then maybe a backup left back for Sean Francis of an aging 32. Jermaine Taylor, God, I have really old right and left backs at both above 30. This isn't terrible. I feel like this team has been pretty decent so far. So let's improve a little bit on our defensive midfielders and attacking goalkeepers and your right and left back. We have 11 players with a maximum squad size of 25. We'll probably end up going through the entire draft, so I feel like things will end up being alright. Joe Willis off the board. I definitely need a backup keeper, but not someone that is so far and away better. So maybe I'll go after Adam Grenwas. Jack Mayer may actually be another really good center back. Cordell Cato is still on the board. Tyler Pasher is on the board as well. Richie Ryan's off. Don Oduro is still on the board. Leo Fernandez, a Tampa Bay product. Santa Jorge Herrera. Do I get both? Nah. I'm going to end up getting Santi Moar with probably my next pick when it comes back around, if he's still on the board. Atula Guerrero would be a decent player to get as another midfielder. So, Santi Moar, and then get a defender somewhere. Yeah, do Santi Moar and Jack Mayer. Cordell Cato is off the board. Yep, knew he wasn't going to last. Santi Moar and Jack Mayer. I feel like that'll be an okay setup for us kind of going forward. I've been trying to think aloud and just kind of think about all of these picks, just talking about and visualizing what I think the team will look like. I have not currently got a piece of paper writing it down, but I feel like I have a good image in my mind of how these players are going to end up lining up in the formation. Yeah, Restrepo, Taylor. Yeah, if I can get Mayer, he would be a very good backup for Lasso and Ouimet. And then Santi Moar would be terrific as a backup to Martinez, Asante, and Herzog. Or specifically Martinez and Asante here, just where he would line up as a midfielder on the right side towards that wing. McElhenney King. So I am guaranteed to get one of Mayer, or Jack Mayer, or Santi Moar. Let's get Santi Moar teed up and ready to go. Yep, Darnell King was off the board. Santi Moar could certainly be a steal of the draft if I get him with the pretty... Yep, he's here. He's ready. He can be a steal of the draft to get him with the 72nd pick overall. There we are. Santi Moar. And Jack Mayer with the other one. Perfect. That is... Yep. Jack Mayer. Hopefully. There he is. Sancy Miller. Yep, there we are. I'm going to go next time around. I'm going to get a backup keeper and then someone to back up Lambert and Fall in the defensive midfield. Yeah. So let's look into our defensive keepers. I know I'm probably going to have wingbacks as a concern, but I just don't feel like I would put them into the formation. Let's see who we got up available. Kevin George, Schnosky, Dan Metzger, Ken Tribbett, Sam DeWitt, Billy Forbes. Wow, I'm surprised the San Antonio, who turned Phoenix Rising product, fell that far. Kenny Walker, interesting to still have him on the board. Del Piccolo. No, I'm not as interested. So, with that, Connor Donovan off the board. Let's go with keepers. Let's see who we got left. Adam Grenwith. We kept him on, so I feel like we'd probably end up getting him as a good pick. Logan Ketterer wouldn't be bad as well. Yeah, we'll probably end up with Zyko Lewis. Wow, that's actually a decent pick with Cloudsdale. Same with Billy Forbes to go with it. Tyler Pasher, Jack Mayer, Darnell King, Elizabethtown elected to pass? That's odd. Yeah, that's really odd. Huh. I mean, it's not like we're having a problem of budget. Everyone should have relatively around $123 million left, and we're not going to spend anywhere close to going over budget. So, choosing to pass is a really odd decision in my book. Here we are on the board. Jorge Herrera has been taken off the board. Let's go with... First off, we'll need a backup keeper, so let's get Adam Grenwith off the board first. And then with our next pick, let's compare Ken Tribbett to Sam DeWitt. Okay, interesting. Let's look back over to Sam DeWitt. I got time. No, we'll go with Ken Tribbett. Here we are. Team is certainly coming together. 15 players, we've got about 10 rounds left. Let's look back forward. Let's see about getting a striker and someone who can start kind of backing up in the midfield. That was my big concern, that we wouldn't be able to find people who would be like great talents and stuff. So yeah, let's get a backup striker, and then let's work on our defenders. So we'll get a defensive left back and defensive right back. I think Joel Johnson would be a solid pick at the defensive right back position. No, David Najim would probably be a bit better at defensive right back. And then as a defensive left back, I don't know. We'll get Brandon Allen as a striker, and then David Najim as a right back. I feel like that would be a pretty decent use of some of these players. Just interested in seeing who everyone else kind of picks up. I'm still baffled by the decision to try just pass on the pick, but if the board wasn't looking optimal, I guess that was a fine decision to try and reposition yourself in the draft. Shannon Gomez, Noah Powder. Very fortunate. I mean, certainly with Dead Whales FC and NCFC type of player and leaning towards those players. Brandon Allen's off the board with Dead Whales. Gosh. That hurt. That will reposition. William Bijev could be really solid in that spot instead. Alright, let's take a look. Where did he go? Yep, let's do Joel Johnson. When the time comes, David Najim. He'll be a good right back. Yep, here he is on the board. Anthony Hopenot. How is he still available after all of these rounds? Yep, Najim, and I am just going to look for a striker. I feel like that's probably going to be an easy route. Ever Guzman, Anthony Hopenot, gosh. Cameron Owasa, Hachi Berry, Kyle Greig, Tyler Blackwood, Chris Tierpak, Dane Kelly. Let's do Dane Kelly. I wasn't planning on him, but I feel like Dane Kelly is such a classic USL player that we have to go with him and keep him on the board. Keep him playing. 17 players. I'm going to look at improving our midfield situation and then left back. Let's see what midfielders are still currently available. Lahoud. Christian Duke. Liam Trotter. I mean, I got my guys right there. Got the players I was kind of after. Dan Metzger probably wouldn't be bad, but he's more of a defensive midfielder, and I'm trying to find a proper attacking midfielder. Yep, I knew Sam DeWitt would go off the board soon. Hold on. Walter Restrepo. He's picked. Sebastian Valaquez. Let's add him to the short list. That would be a massive pickup if we were able to get him. So, if not Valaquez, we'll get Attila Guerrera. Libo Malota would also be another solid player to have. So, we have that planned out. We can get one of those three players for the side. That's like an attacking midfielder, excuse me. Let's then find someone we can put on the left back position. Yep. Let's look at left back. And then maybe we'll get another kind of center back as well. Tyler Polak wouldn't be bad. Austin Yearwood would be alright. Peebo Dewey, he's a former Wilmington Hammerhead player, now currently at NCFC, then over to Loudoun. Josh Suggs has been taken. He would have been solid. So, Jared Van Schaik would probably be another decent pick. At Jose, Mark Birch, Sean Francis, Brian Woodman. On the board, goalkeeper. Let's go find him. Let's go find Sebastian Valaquez. Here he is. Off the board. And then Jared Van Schaik. There we are. This team is really coming together right now. Sean Francis. Yeah, I think I need a defensive midfielder and then a defensive back, right back. Oh, this is actually way easier to look at. So, looking at the team right now, I feel like we'll certainly want someone else to take over as a defensive right back. Just have as a backup, so for Najee, Taylor's competent enough in that spot. Yeah, let's go defensive right back, and then let's get a striker. Would have been Brandon Allen, and he would have been such a great pick to have right there, but I think it was really tough to try and decide that. That'll be fine. We'll get a striker. First, look at the defensive right backs in this position. It's so funny, like, just scrolling through, and, like, all of these players just, like, come, like, right back to me. It's just, like, I remember who they are, where they've played, and all of that, so it's weird. It's, like, just almost like a trip down memory lane of USL talent. Interesting. Just trying to find someone who would fit into that decent spot. Josh Yarrow wouldn't be bad. Javon Watson seems to be a relatively versatile pick. Look how many spots he can possibly play on the field. So we'll end up with, I'm going to look at getting Javon Watson. And then let's look forward to our strikers. Ever Guzman probably wouldn't be bad. Same to Dominic Oduro or William Bijev. Cameron Owasa. Huh. I'll end up with Cameron Owasa. I feel like he'd be alright, or Chris Tierpak. Gwen Zardy, Jan Ekra, Luke Spencer, Ian Sam Ventessa, let's look at the short list. So, we'll get Javon Watson, and then I'll have a decision to make on strikers. Yep. Javon Watson. This is tough. Maybe there's a way I can like wait on a few of these players and hope they just kind of fall back into that position of the draft. Let's do Cameron Iwasa. Alright, eventually I'll need to get a third goalkeeper, but let's take a look at our current squad. Yeah, this is relatively solid. I'll get a third goalkeeper to have as our positions. Huh. Adam Granwis may end up being a starter just with a few of his spots of the games in this season. I'm just so jealous that this isn't even going to be my full team. And for like my own save, I'd love for this to be my own created team, but it's going to end up just for this one league. Overall, I've been relatively pleased with how this draft has gone. We got 4 more rounds. Yep, just kind of looking at where I've recognized a few of these players from. I may think into changing the formation up a bit instead of doing a 4-2-3-1, which I typically run with if I want to get Dane Kelly, Iwasa, and Lancaster all involved. Lancaster's going to be that main starter from there, but I feel like it would be beneficial to have 2 strikers in there at a time. So maybe if I ran with like a 4-1-3-2. Yeah. That wouldn't be a horrible lineup with that. One person is the defensive kind of midfielder. Or probably end up being a Kevon Lambert or Wallfall. I was shocked Sebastian Valaquez fell this far, but let's get a third goalkeeper just in case we need it. And then we could probably do with getting a right back. I mean, if we're looking at the players that we have right there, we have a few, like David Najim and Javon Watson, who could fill in. Actually, no, we just got another right back. We do have like 4 players who could play right back if called upon. And do it pretty decently. So, maybe we get another midfielder. Yeah, let's do a defensive midfielder. And then maybe a goalkeeper. So, defensive midfield. Who is available? Mikey Lopez wouldn't be bad. Juan Guzman. Damn, Metzger's been taken. Derek Jones is not a terrible pick for that spot. Neville Hackshaw, Brian Anuga. Paolo Del Piccolo would have been great. Let's do Derek Jones. When it comes time to pick him, let's do Derek Jones. And then we'll just get a third goalkeeper. Let's see, let's do Akira Fitzgerald. No, Cody Mizell. Former Charlotte keeper. There we are with 3. 2 players left. I'm going to be interested in who is going to be left on the board with these 2 players left. We got probably need to get a midfielder or someone to back up Enzo. So I'm going to go after an attacking midfielder. So if you have Herzog on the left, Sebastian Valaquez could play on the left, Solomon Asante and Santi Moar could do the right. Yeah, that leaves us without really anyone to really back up Enzo at a good spot, so we need an attacking midfielder who can play that spot well. And then maybe a striker, or maybe I go after another right back just to kind of finish off that position, because we're getting a ton of good players on the left side. Let's see, attacking midfielders. Who is available? Let's do Libo Moloto. Oh, I feel like that'll be good. We'll do Libo Moloto as a good attacking midfielder. And then when we eventually come back, let's do someone on the right. Nathan Smith. Andrew Brody, Brent Richards, Tyler Turner. Josh Yarrow probably wouldn't be a terrible pick up there. Huh. Yeah, let's do Libo Moloto as a backup to Enzo Martinez, or the starter, just someone to play that attacking midfielder, and then we'll end up getting Josh Yarrow as our final pick of the draft. Let's see, where did I put... Oh, wait, I didn't save him. That was a mistake. Let's hope he's still on the board. Yes, I did save him. Whoops. I can find him again. Here he is. Libo Moloto, and then Josh Yarrow, and that'll pretty much end off the draft. Here we are. Libo Moloto. Yep, and then Josh Yarrow, and that'll close off the draft. Actually, we get one more round 25, but that closes off our picks at least. I'll stay on to kind of show who's still left. Connor Schnosky was another player from my shortlist who gets chosen. Wow, this has actually turned out to be a rather decent team that I've been pretty proud of. Myself, Grenwis, and Restrepo. Then you get Najim, Watson, Taylor, Ouimet, Yarrow, Van Schaik, Lasso, Jack Mayer, Ken Tribbett, and Sean Francis as your defenders. As my midfielders, you get Kevin Lambert, Derek Jones, Wallfall, Libo Moloto, Sebastian Valaquez, Enzo Martinez, Solomon Asante, Santi Moar, Corey Herzog, and then for strikers, you get Cameron Awasa, Dane Kelly, and Cameron Lancaster. Wow, I think this has actually been a relatively decent team to have. I mean, that attacking midfield is legitimately scary to line up against if you're having Valaquez, Martinez, Asante, Moar, and Corey Herzog. You get strikers of Lancaster, Kelly, and Awasa. I think we have a relatively solid back line with Lasso, Ouimet, then you play Najim on one side, and Van Schaik on the other, although that left back position may be a bit skeptical, and then just whoever matches up best, I feel like we're probably going to end up going with Diego Restrepo as our starter, Grenwis would be the back, and then Cody Monsell would be a third choice keeper. And that is the final pick of the draft. I appreciate all of you guys watching and hanging out with me to just kind of hear through my picks and my strategy, but I'm looking forward to the season beginning. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more content. And appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.